Hello, what up Wednesday? It's Monday, but we'll say I'm 2 days early, even though I'm really a few days late. I went to a meditation retreat. It was fantastic, so great, just what the doctor ordered for my everything. And it was wonderful. It was, I do TM, which is Transcendental Meditation. That's the one from Maharishi, like the Beatles, and it's a technique that you learn. You take like a one-on-one lessons. I learned it at the Meditation Center in Encinitas, and I went to this retreat. It was just fabulous on the grounds of, it's called the Holy Spirit Retreat Center in Encino in the Valley, and just a beautiful place. It's run by an order of social worker nuns, and they're incredible. We got to kind of like learn a little bit about their work and what they do, but that was just the location that it was at. That wasn't anything to do with the retreat. Pause for hydration. Hydrate or dehydrate. It's almost 100 outside. It's July. Anyways, so great, but I didn't know what to expect. And I arrived there. It was a Friday afternoon to Sunday. And I was very concerned about, the food because they described, like, all the food is provided, and you're kind of like a captive audience. You're in this like compound area, and they provide the food. They did say that it would be vegetarian, and they described it as light, things like soups. So I'm like picturing like broth. So I was a little concerned about the food, and they said caffeine is discouraged. So I actually did sneak some tea bags, regular like caffeinated tea bags, which more on that in a second. So that was kind of like my main concern, and totally unfounded. It wound up, the food was wonderful. It was a bit, I'd say, austere and very like, I arrived and the check-in was after 3 p.m. Dinner served at 5:30, and they like ring. It reminded me of in the movie Witness when they like ring the bell and everybody comes running. They like ring this bell, and that's how everybody like go to the meals. And so I'm there for the first dinner, and the literally there were like 24 of us. There were 22 of us, and then 2 instructors, and they had 24 little, like half of a squash, like a zucchini. Like, have you ever seen, they make that like a boat with cheese, grilled cheese over it. That was the dinner. But there was literally like 24 of those in a little dish. So you like take your one. And then they had a thing of green salad with dressing that you could put on. And then there's something else. Then they always had a little dessert. Kind of weird, the first dinner, so I didn't have it. But then the next morning, I go there and I'm like, pots of freshly brewed coffee, regular caffeine coffee, like it just, So I did have coffee. I noticed, people were having coffee as they wanted. And because there was a aging gracefully was happening there. I'm not surprised they let them have coffee, but aging gracefully had coffee. And then the nuns, they're living there. They get to drink coffee if they want. So, and there was another like beverage station that was open 24/7 that had coffee too. But I had my little morning coffee, so that was good. And then for like the days, they actually advise to not have breakfast. I'm like, oh no, or eat light. But they had oatmeal, they had breads, they had like 24 little pieces of already pre-toasted bread. Like it was austere. It was very sweet. Everything was good. It was all very fresh. Everything was organic, fresh fruit. Like one day they had these beautiful berries. But yeah, it was good. And, but the first night, so the first night, and I've never been to one of these before. I didn't know what to expect. Everybody at the Encinitas Center is very nice, very lovely. It's fine. But like, I don't know these people. And this was in the San Fernando Valley. So first night, they have a meeting, you know, after dinner, and everybody goes around and introduce themselves. And I'd say 80% were somewhat tangentially to the industry, and entertainment industry. So that was kind of interesting. A lot of like post-production tech person, sound graphicking engineer person. Like, I don't know what those jobs are, but anyway, it was cool. Like, some of the people, like, I got to talk with them and like learn about them. But then the guy says, well, this is like one of the instructors, the guy. And most of these industry people go to the TM Center in Los Feliz, which I think is like the big hip. They have them all over, but I think the Los Feliz one seems to be very jumping. And he says, well, you know, we operate on the buddy system. And like, I moved a cajillion times as a kid. I was always the new kid in school. It's PE, first day, pair up with somebody and you're gonna hold each other's ankles when you do sit-ups. Like it's really stressful. So he says like buddy system, and like, it's just, you can't, like literally you can't go anywhere without your buddy. You're supposed to like, and one guy is like, can I take a walk in the morning? And no, well, you know, it's more enjoyable and safer for all if you walk with your buddy. Like, dude. So, and that man looked very disappointed, but like, okay, so I'm sitting there. And then of course, I'll give you, let's take 5 to 10 minutes and you can find a buddy. Like, I don't want to be here doing this. Like an angel sent by the gods, the most lovely woman appears on my side and says, you want to be buddies? And I was like, yes. And she was so cool. And she's a cartoonist. She does like I'm calling her a cartoonist. It doesn't describe what she does. She's like a graphic novelist, really lovely work. She's going to be at Comic-Con. She's going to be on 3 panels at Comic-Con. And I'm going to Comic-Con. I need to go pick up my badge. I haven't found what the master schedule of everything is. The Comic-Con, I don't know. But anyway, I'm getting off on tangents. But she was my buddy. And then like after that meeting, we were walking back to our rooms. And I was like, you know, what room are you in? Because like if your buddy, if it's like, okay, let's meet at 11 a.m. and your buddy's not there, you're supposed to be like, teacher, my buddy's not here. So I'm guessing like back in 1980, somebody probably like themselves and they're like, okay, everybody has to have a buddy from now on. And then now just always you have to have a buddy. Like, it's because why else would you do it? So anywho, so we walk back to our rooms and I'm like, you know, yeah, are you gonna eat breakfast? Like, no, I don't eat breakfast. I'm gonna go to the like thing and get started, but I'll see you there. And I said, well, you know, they said there's like a walk after. Are you gonna do it? And she's like, this is so refreshing. She says, I did a retreat a couple months ago and my buddy I literally never saw her again. And she just like disappeared in her room she brought like watercolors to do. So I was like, oh, my buddy likes me. So my buddy was cool and very just awesome. And we could do things like as buddy groups. So like one of the days we took a walk and one guy's buddy didn't want to take a walk. So he was told he had to find another group to join him. So he joined us. So like about 7 of us took a walk. Just beautiful grounds, beautiful place. They have a little mini labyrinth. A lot of meditation. I learned these new kind of yoga-ish, like a yoga-ish flow that when you have more time, you can do it before you meditate and it kind of deepens everything. And I learned the alternate nostril breathing, which my nose is too stuffy all the like I literally take Zyrtec every single day, but like you do like one and then the other. Anyway, alternate nostril breathing. And yeah, and then they had like lights out at a certain time and you're in these like very austere little rooms. But by the second morning, like I've never meditated so deeply in all my days. And it was just like really cool. So, awesome experience, 10 out of 10, would recommend. Just any retreat. I mean, if you don't do, I mean, I know not everybody does TM, but just like, I want to do more retreats. Like, I think at least once a year, I need that. It felt like a reboot. And yeah, the other thing that's what's up this hashtag not Wednesday is I was in one of the most, lordy, emotionally draining trials I've ever had, in Banning, lovely Banning. And so we get sent out there for a Monday. So it's Monday, I'm drive. I'm like, why is that hill on fire? And they had a huge fire out there. So it got a little bit delayed. They almost had to evacuate the jail out there. So it's pretty crazy. There's no Wi-Fi because of the fire, but our trial got underway. This one was hard. I've been kind of recuperating from it. It's emotional. My client was emotional. His family, he had like 15 people there every day. And it's just, I feel like I have that. In real estate, we used to say like, you're like the shock absorber, like kind of like you absorb the emotions of the people. And I feel like I can tend to just like, I absorb the emotions of people around me. And he was lovely. He was very just sweet, kind, respectful. Gave me a hug on the last day. Just absorbing all of that. It's just heaviness. And so we ended that trial on Thursday. Today's Monday. And I've like been like nothing, just like, but I did go to Earth, Wind, and Fire. And we went to Earth, Wind, and Fire last night and dinner at Roy's. So I'm back. And then, you know what? The attitude of a public defender is on to the next. So I'm ready. Anyways, what up Wednesday? That's what's up. And I love you so much, beautiful people. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, make it fantastic. Hope you're enjoying summer. Love you all. Bye.